Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the Guy, always on the job. I got 5. Let's talk. And as always, it's real talk, raw talk. And y'all know it's that time again to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend. Share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. Welcome to another episode of I Got 5 Let's Talk, the platform podcast. And I'm your host, Pharaoh the Guy, that's always on his job. I want to start off by saying welcome everybody again. I hope everybody that did fast today had a great fast. They learned something. They ended up appreciating something. And you know, some people just don't learn quick as others. Some people, you know, it's repetition. So for those that's fasting, my message is, even if you mess up, man, even if you find yourself breaking your fast, or just keep going. Just keep going, man. You know, don't give up. And just ask for guidance, man, and ask Allah to make it easy, because He will do that for you. That's what He will do. Today, we already know what's going on in the news. We've been hearing about it. And it's like I always said, though. It's new gatekeepers coming about, man. A lot of people don't pay attention. But before we get into that, man, we gonna run some of this content that they've been talking about over social media.
On top, mixed and zones, they gonna pay somebody.
Now, today's episode is going to be kind of tricky. Why? Because it involves Israel. And we know how people don't like to, you know, do what they do. But this is something that is continuously plaguing America. Why does it feel like this? Hold on, man. My ear got clogged up real quick. Why does America always go around the world and tell people how to act? But let's hear from Trump why he did what he did.
Regime.
Now, before I get into this content, right, Trump speaking about why he did what he did, I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I was a supporter of Trump. But y'all don't understand why I support Trump. It's the same reason why every other country, men support their country. You want the best for your country. You want your country to be able to get its due portion. You don't want your country to be the backbone for another country. So when it comes to America, you know, This is the country of merchandise. And y'all also got to realize some of the things. This is one thing that people don't realize about Trump, bro. Like, you have farmers, growers that are complaining about having or not being able to sell their grain, corn, wheat, and barley across the world no more based off the tariffs. But what people don't understand is you sell the excess. You don't sell everything. That's what happened. The same thing that has happened to Venezuela. They were so rich, so much money, they thought it was going to be there forever. So what happened to them? They was importing so many goods that it rendered their goods no good, useless. So how can... Oh, okay, that was Amazon. I was finna... So how can you stop that? You do what they did in the ancient times. You store what you need and what you sell to your countrymen, and then the leftovers or whatever, that's what you sell out. But people have got so high and greedy on selling things. You have to sustain yourself first. And this is what I thought Trump was going to do. I thought Trump was really going to help sustain the country. But with the move that Trump has done now by attacking and assassinating an Iranian official, the supreme leader, whatever y'all want to call him, the president, the prime minister, whatever he is reported to have been killed in the onslaught of violence that America is perpetuating in the name of defending Israel. Now, my thing is, why is it? Let's hear Trump.
Time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from...
He said he did it because he wanted to help protect Americans. What do you tell motherfuckers when they go to Russia, to China, that it's bad over there right now with the U.S.? I advise y'all not to be there. When are people going to take responsibility for doing their own fuck-ups? Why do you got officials in Iran?
The Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted...
He said that the Iranians are threatening their counterparts around the world. I haven't seen Iran bomb nobody that didn't need to be bombed. I mean, y'all went over there and blew up the man's nuclear sites. Y'all said that was enough, right?
Death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 19-
It's war. We want y'all to leave. Y'all trying to stay. But y'all don't see what's going on. Like I said, this is the agenda of new gatekeepers. And if you don't understand that, it's the positioning of in placing new dummy leaders for people to follow. All this is happening because they want people that are more softer on what they got going. Why do we I'm gonna just put it out there. Trump said he was getting all the troops out of Iraq, out of war, all this, right? He was clowning Obama. I'm no Obama fan. But he was talking about how, we've been in war in the Middle East and over there for decades and centuries, yada, 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 X, Y, and the third. But as soon as his polls get to going down, this is what I don't understand with America now. America should be asking, why are we bombing Iran? So what, they been yelling death to America for 50 million years, nigga? That's like a nigga keep calling you a bitch or something, bro, after you done beat him up. Nigga, like, bro, go somewhere. You said, nigga, they said that 19 of the hijackers was from Saudi Arabia, right, for 9/11. Why ain't nothing ever happened to Saudi Arabia? Osama bin Laden was hiding out in Pakistan or wherever. Why ain't nothing happened in Pakistan? It's selective politicking. That's what's going on.
In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel.
In this game, if you can dream it, you can build it.
So you trying to tell me what they did back then, they didn't get bombed for it? You trying to tell me what they did back then, nigga, that's why you punishing them now? That is, like I always say, they tell on themselves, they expose themselves by trying not to expose themselves. You going after a country and their leaders because of something somebody did in 1983. You going to bomb Iran nuclear sites because they scream death to America? What about the Ku Klux Klan and the white anarchy racist nationalist groups in America ain't being targeted like that? I'm not asking for them niggas to be killed, but how come they not going to jail? This is because you have some type of malice towards these people. You not bringing up no new shit that they did. You bringing up what they did in 1983. Think about that for a minute, y'all. For real, think about that.
In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole.
They knew or probably were. That means you have no evidence. Let's be real here, bro. I am a supporter of Trump. And what I always say, yeah, I support Trump, and I know that nigga don't like Muslims. Off the rip, that always been my stance with Trump. So if you want to be knee deep in this shit, if he got a problem with Muslims, he got a problem with me. I don't like the nigga. I don't. But you talking about what they did in 2000? 83, they knew or they probably were involved. America is known for having intelligence. How come y'all don't have no intelligence that they were involved? The reason why you say they knew or probably were involved is because they didn't know. You can't prove that they knew. Just like you can't prove that they was involved. The constituents of the United States got to wake up. And it's not even just about Islam. It's about going to war. Like, people are really about to die. People are losing their lives because we still accept these lies that they telling people around the world, especially when it comes to the big boogeyman Islam. Why does America feel the need to go halfway around the world to terrorize somebody for what they said about America? You ain't doing shit to North Korea.
Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have...
How many motherfuckers y'all killed over there? You want to talk about a big bad wolf? What about Israel shooting down little kids? Come on down, truck.
Continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror. And when
So
that gets
tell
put
me
up,
why we don't know about this. Where is the proof? If it's proof about this, why you up there talking about it? You're supposed to be releasing the paperwork. But you don't release the paperwork because you want motherfuckers to believe you. If there is no paperwork to see, I can't really believe you like that. It's like snitching, right? You could call a motherfucker a rat, but if you can't find no paperwork that he ratted, or you can't find no deals that was made like Big Meech deal and Tammy Cowan, come on, bro. Come on now. Like I said, man, I'm a Trump supporter, man. Let's put it like this. When it comes to running the country, yeah, I support Trump. But when it comes to international politics, I think that's the bully program. I think that the international politics is the bully program because nigga, don't worry about my politics. Don't worry about what I'm over here doing. In America, motherfuckers don't like Trump. They can't kill him. So why is you going around the world to go bring harm to somebody in their country, man? Oh, because what they did 20 years ago, right?
with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel.
Let's talk about that. The October 7th, right? Now, it's alleged that the 5 dancing men, if y'all know what that is, just type up 5 dancing men or the 5 dancing Jew men. You'll understand. But that was allegedly that they was here to oversee the 9/11 massacre. Again, that's allegedly, right? If you have what they call the Iron Dome in Israel, if you have the Iron Dome and you can shoot down and you know when missiles is coming, how come y'all can't see no niggas flying bikes over y'all land? Y'all have all these people outside with guns all up and down the streets. It's a police state. How y'all didn't see these people flying these bullshit tricycles over y'all goddamn airway? To me, you ask my assessment, it's very suspect. You got shit that could detect a missile, an incoming missile, but you ain't got shit that could detect a motherfucker riding a tricycle through the air with a lawnmower motor on that motherfucker. And then nothing that Trump said did anything has to do with outright just for no reason. And then people might say, oh, well, they shouldn't be. Listen, bro, why are they forcing themselves to be around and over there? Why do they want to stop them from having a nuclear weapon? Does Israel say they have or do they won't deny or confirm? I don't see nobody doing nothing to them, though.
Slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon.
Why is that any concern to America? Now let's learn something about nukes, right? Anybody that's using them is considered like dirty bombs. They're illegal. But we see time and time in war that these same type of bombs sending out mass deformation in unborn children, fucking men and women up. But also, if one motherfucker drops a nuclear weapon or goes to fire a nuclear weapon, do you know how much catastrophic damage that will cause across the world? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. That's why when they are used, these chemical weapons are used, they're used on people that other people have painted in the world as useless. Savages, terrorists, Islamists. I wonder why.
That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons.
Digital DTV says for 1400 years we had Islam, then the internet. I agree with you, but the reason why I don't want to fully agree with you is because I want to give a further in-depth meaning to that. The religion of peace, the religion of Islam, has always been around since the beginning of time. That is the religion of the Creator, a religion of peace, tranquility, mercy, compassion. You know what I mean? So whether it was called whatever in that language, it's still transferred over as the religion of peace. Just like the Muslims say now, Assalamu alaikum, or peace be unto you. I know you see it in the Bible. And people say, yes, the Bible does predate Islam and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, right? It predates that, but the message is still the same. They spoke Aramaic, so it would sound the same. But yeah, you right. But I just want people to understand that, you know, if you look at what the Muslims follow, it's the same thing that everybody had to follow in the Bible. The same. There is no real difference. This is why Islam is so much under attack, especially these Islamic countries. How are y'all? Is anyone saying to the Vatican, hey, you can't have your own city and your own laws and, you know, this and that? Nah. They only say it to the Muslims, those that hold on to the rope that Allah has blessed down onto this earth.
And we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. Wow. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message They will never have a nuclear weapon.
But America got one. But America has one. How? Why? Huh?
This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there's no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war, but we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the...
You say that happens in war. You want people to understand that on your side, but white people can't understand that on their side. If Americans died, were taken hostage, and were killed, that's what happens in war. You just said that. That's what happens in war. So if that happens in war, how come we don't know about it? Good. They but yeah, man, it's like I said, it's more what it is. The major players, if y'all look around the board in all fields, the major players are being taken off the board. The major players are being taken off the board for a reason. The players, some of the players were actual puppets. Some people just seen it, heard about it, but they always knew that story. And that story somehow tends to unfold and be right in this act. Somebody is always knocking on the front door because they ain't doing something that America likes. Until next time, y'all know the deal. Take care of each other. And if you can't do that, take care of yourself.